Okay, video 3 in this trilogy of videos, how to get Snaps installed. Snaps is a tiny piece of Python which helps you have fun writing Python programs. It uses the Pygame library to make pictures and sounds and whatnot, and I quite like it, but people have found it a bit fiddly to get hold of. Now, the first step in getting the Pygame thing to work, is to get Snaps to work, is to get the actual answers. I'm intrigued by it. I want to press some of these things and find out some of this stuff, but there you go. I shan't be doing that. I'm going to go to begin to code with python.com because here's a little tip. Has it actually going anywhere? There we go. There's a tiny website. It's tiny. It's so tiny. It's almost undetectable. It's called begin to code with python.com, and it has links to interesting places. And one of the things it has a link to is tools for the book, which has a link for all the bits and pieces. But it also has a link to the samples. Well, there's bits and bits as things happen, as things come along and come down the tracks. I will actually add things to these elementary pages to give you more information about stuff. And the next version of these pages will have links to these videos, but I couldn't put those links into the videos until I've made the videos, which is kind of like a catch-22 thing. So yeah, whatever. Deal with it. Talking of examples, you can find them here. Now, the best place to get the examples actually is a place called GitHub, which is where they are stored all shiny. The reason why I'm keen for you to use this one is this is the one that I keep up to date all the time. So I go onto the clone or download button and I hit download zip, and there's now a rattling noise, and it says, where should we put it? Well, we'll put it, we'll save it, and we'll go save as, and just for giggles, we'll save it on the desktop when it gets round to asking me. This is probably the slowest. Yeah, put it on the desktop. There you go. And then hit save, and then hit. Is it now doing it? Yes, it is. It's doing a security scan. All my stuff is very secure. But if I now go and look on my desktop, as though by magic, a file called samples.master has appeared. Now, please don't try running the programs from this folder. That will not end well. What you do, though, is you grab this guy and you open him up, grab the folder from inside, and then there's now a huge amount of rattling. There's 460 carefully crafted, individually manufactured, totally wonderful pieces of code are actually taken from that zip file and placed on your machine. Notice that this folder doesn't have a zip on the icon. It just has pictures of things in there. So if you open it up from the zip file, you get weird stuff in that it might seem to work, but it'll certainly also not work. So we won't kind of go there. And now the best place, we're kind of on, we're looking at page 68 in the program now, where we're actually using snaps 68 and 66 snaps functions. These are kind of fun. There's lots of examples for them. The best way to start with snaps is to get the snaps examples running. Once you've got those to run, then you can start making your own snappy programs. It's a lot simpler than you might think, said the man who actually managed to do it. Now, unzipping on my machine is as slow as everything else, which is very slow. But it's gone. Right, okay, so now we have a folder. I can close you, and I can open you. And if you have got Python installed on your computer, and you should have because you followed the previous video, clever person, what you should be able to do is actually what I'm about to do. Go into chapter 3, Python program structure. Let's have a look. Where are we? Yes, and have a look at chapter 3, exercise 4. So click on there to open it up. Find exercise 4. I'm getting the nice little Python icon, and so if I right click on here, right click mouse button, you can't see, it says edit with idle. Ooh, that's nice. Hit that. And so what happens now is the idle program opens up. It's all ready to run a Python program for me. And so if I now hit the run button, run module, it should go and then fail because there's no audio device on this computer. Boo! Yeah, okay. Yes, okay. That won't happen to you. It'll happen to me because the universe hates me. It's because this is an emulator. If you look down here, you see there's a little red cross there. And what that means is that this machine is in an emulator has no audio because it doesn't have any wiring for speakers. It's running inside on the computer, and that means that snaps will go wrong because it can't find any audio. What I have to do now is go and have a lie down and a cry because I can't show it working on this machine. Back in a moment. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Turns out you learn stuff when things break. Okay, so what I have done is I have made some modifications to Snaps. So Snaps now says if there's no audio on this computer, I will not play any audio. And I'll put the new version on the GitHub share, which you can download from after this video is made public. So by the time you can read this, it'll already have been fixed. Isn't that magical? If you want to see it, I'll show you the code. If I go edit with idle, please, I can show you what I've done, because this is kind of interesting, and we've got a few seconds. I know you don't mind, really do. Here we go. I'm going to say try to turn on the Python sound from Pygame. If you get this far, means the exception wasn't thrown and all's well with the world. But if this goes wrong, for example, because there is no sound hardware on the computer, then it does the exception handler and it says there's a message there, another message there, and I set the flag to false to mean don't make any sound because the sound won't work. And so you see the message, you can see it there in blue, there it is, and then in the play sound method, if the sound is false, then don't do it, don't try, it won't work. So I've fixed that. So in making this video, I've actually improved things. Isn't this wonderful? And if we look at the program code itself, all this does is say hello world using Snaps. If you've got this, you're gravy, it's working, all's well. If I hit run module, there's hello world in big letters. If you don't believe me, then I can change the text to say hello world from Rob. Now remember, these are the example programs, but you can do with them what you like. If you mess them up, just download the archive again. If I now hit run again, then we see a different, I've got to save it, of course I have, but hello world from Rob, yes. So it all works. Now that's fine. So we have got Snaps on our computer. Everything in the garden is wonderful, but the question is actually how to put Snaps into my programs. Now people have been looking at ways in which they have to copy things in and load Python libraries and whatnot. It's actually very simple. All you have to do is make sure this file, snaps.py, is actually in the same folder as the program you're trying to run. So if I go on to my desktop and I hit right click and I make myself a new folder, when you get there, folder please, there you go, folder, which I'll call Awesome Prog. Awesome Prog. I can't spell awesome. That's not very awesome, is it? Prog. Boom. So now, if I grab hold of this guy with the mouse and I hold down the Control key, so I'm going to copy it, grab hold of Snaps, jigga, 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 bang, whack him in Awesome Prog. So in Awesome Prog, I've got the folder and just one thing in it, which is the Snaps file. So now I can go into here. I can now fire up Snaps. Well, what I'll do is the best way to get in progress is by copying stuff. So I'm going to copy this program here. So I'm going to grab these two things here and I'm going to just copy them. Yeah, that'll work. And then I can I can then go into my Python shell and say make me a new file, which is untitled. And I can go, okay, import Snaps, and then I'll put in here this is my awesome program. Okay, now I'm going to, if I hit run, it'll say, hang on, this must be saved. Everything must be saved. Okay. If I now hit save, it'll ask me where I want to put it. Won't you? Won't you? Yes, you will. Very slowly. So I'm going to go to my desktop directory. There you go. I'm going to go to Awesome Prog, and I'm going to put it in a file called Awesome. PY. Well, the PY gets put on by Python, so I'll not bother with that. So in here now, I've got two things. I've got Awesome, and I've got Snaps. And my program has now run. This is my awesome program. I like that. I should do that in a movie. Imagine a world. No, sorry, it's in a world. That's better. Anyway, you don't care about that. What I'm saying is that we now have a folder called Awesome Prog that contains a snaps file and the awesome program just written file, and that's how you do it. So all you have to do is make sure that every file that needs to contain the Python that's using snaps contains the Python program you're writing, this guy here, and snaps, which is the library of functions which deliver the goods. And when in my program, that means that when we see the word import like that, Python goes okay, looks in the local folder for the library with that name, in this case snaps, and then finds it. So it all just works as that. Now if you look at page 66, there's a horrid little typo on there. The very first snaps example says insert snaps import star. That's wrong. I don't know how I missed it. There's three mistakes. No, not three. This is the only mistake I've ever found, and it's one of the worst because it really makes it really hard to understand what's going on. So if you've been confused, I do apologise. That should just say import snaps. Import star is only there because I don't know. It's a mystery. I have no idea how that got there, but it shouldn't be there. So import snaps is all you need. The other bit is rubbish. There's an addendum up on the Microsoft site, and next printing, if we do print another run of this book, that message will have gone away. But I do apologise if that's caused confusion. It should not be there. The code you have got is how you do it, and I wish you the very best of luck. And if you make anything really awesome, then please send me an email at the usual email address in the book, and I'd love to know about it. But until the next thing goes wrong, yeah, bye-bye.